Shame doesn't just attack what you did. It attacks who you are. Guilt says, I did something wrong. Shame says, I am something wrong. And if you've ever blown up at your wife, shut down in an argument, or sat in church thinking I'm too broken for God, then you've heard shame's voice. And if you don't learn to name it, shame will run your marriage, your faith, and your purpose in the ground. I'll never forget the first time I realized shame was running the show in my marriage. It wasn't during some big blowout fight. It was something small. My wife said, "At times you forget." And I fired back, "Well, you forget things too. It's not just me." That wasn't about her words. That was my wounded boy inside hearing the old story. I'm not enough. I'm always failing. That's how shame talks. It fuses your behavior with your identity. Now here's the truth. Shame is not the same as guilt. Guilt points to the action. I did wrong. Shame attacks the identity. I am wrong. And shame has one playbook: blow up with anger and criticism, shut down with silence and withdrawal, or mask up and pretend you're fine while you're dying inside. But underneath all those patterns is the same lie. You are your mistakes. You'll never change. This is why so many men struggle in their marriages. It's not that they don't love their wives. It's that shame convinces them intimacy isn't safe. Shame says, if she sees the real me, she'll leave. Shame says, if I admit my weakness, I'll lose respect. Shame says, I'm too broken for love. So instead of letting her close, you armor up, you blame, you hide behind work, pornography, or anger. But the truth? Your wife doesn't need a perfect man. She needs the real you. And shame keeps him buried. Shame doesn't just wreck intimacy with your wife. It wrecks intimacy with God. Because shame whispers, you've messed up too much. God's done with you. But here's the gospel. God doesn't wait for you to be perfect. He meets you right in the middle of your shame. Not just when you say, I did wrong, but when you're stuck in, I am wrong. That's where Jesus shows up. That's where the cross matters most. Right in the middle of the shame lie. So if shame is the lie, what's the truth? The truth is, you are not your mistake. What you do matters, but you matter more. This is why we talk about regulation, about reparenting your wounded boy, about letting God father you where shame told you no one could. Because every trigger is proof that boy still needs you. And every time you show up as the adult, grounded, compassionate, regulated, you break shame's grip. Listen, brother, shame talks loud, but it's a liar. You don't have to live fused to your mistakes. You don't have to keep intimacy at arm's length. You can learn to regulate your fire. You can heal your marriage. You can walk in purpose. And if you're ready to take that step, click the link in the description and book a forward session with me, because you are not your mistake and your true self isn't lost. It's waiting to be uncovered.